Last year, I bought the cheapest M1 Macmini. At the time, I couldn't justify the extra $1,000 to max out the storage at 2 terabytes. After only about a week, I've been teetering around 20 gigs of free storage, constantly having to juggle with what to keep and what to move to an external drive. That ends today. In this video, we're going to upgrade my base model M1 Macmini with 2 terabytes of super fast storage. For this to work and to be effective, I have a few requirements. Speed is super important. The built-in storage on the Mac Mini is extremely fast. The drive is soldered onto the motherboard and has a very quick connection to all other system components. The M1 Macs also come with 2 Thunderbolt 3 USB 4 ports for up to 40 gigabit per second transfer speed, which allows us to use a USB 4 external enclosure. This is where the ORICO M2V01 USB 4 NVMe SSD enclosure comes in, with the speed to almost match the internal storage. This should keep the system responsive and at least as close as we can physically get to the internal storage. My next requirement is that I still want to have a single drive system. What I mean by that is, I don't just want to add external storage to the M1 Mac, I want to replace the internal storage so I'm not dragging files back and forth between drives. For this to happen, we'll be installing macOS on the ORICO external USB storage and just disabling the internal drive. I may end up using it at another date to archive some projects, but for now we'll just completely be turning it off. The third and most likely obvious reason to do it this way is cost. As stated before, upgrading the Mac to 2 terabytes when ordering costs an additional $1,000. Comparatively, the ORICO enclosure was $220 and the Samsung 2 terabyte SSD was $280. Let's get into setting this all up. A little snug. Not to make a big mess. It has a really good feel to it. To get started, you need to make sure you have access to a USB drive that can serve as the installation source. If you're purchasing a USB drive to serve as the install drive, I highly recommend the SanDisk Ultra Dual Drive USB-C flash drive. It's available with the needed 16 gig capacity, but also has both a USB-C and a standard USB connection, and it's only $10. Now let's get our install source ready. Let's launch the App Store, search for macOS Monterey, click View and Get. It will then ask you to download the install image. I've already done that to make things a little faster. Once the download's complete, the installer will open. You can quit from the menu bar up here or press Command Q as we won't be using this installer. After that's done, you can close your other windows. Next, we're going to open Finder and find our macOS installer. Right click on it and show package contents. Then expand contents and resources. We're looking for this create install media file. With that located, let's open up a terminal window and type in sudo space and drag our create install media file into terminal. This will type the path so we don't have to type it in manually. Do -- volume and a space, and then we'll drag our USB into the terminal window as well. Once that's ready, we'll press enter, type in our system password. It will ask you to confirm that you're going to erase all the data on this drive and hit yes. This process will take a couple minutes. I'll speed it up. The install process will begin by purging the contents of the connected USB drive, making the drive bootable, and copying the installer files to the drive. We're on the home stretch now. You have a macOS install, source USB, and external drive ready. You can power down your Mac Mini and make sure both devices are connected. Once they're both plugged in, hold down your power button until you see the loading startup options screen. A few minutes later, you'll get an install macOS Monterey option as well. Continue through the installer, making sure to select your external drive as the destination. Once complete, your Mac will reboot to the setup wizard just like how it was when you purchased it from the store. As you continue through, you'll have the option to migrate your data to the new drive, which in my case took about 30 minutes. And there you have it. If you've made it to the end and found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.